There is something big in the works right now that I believe is going to cause Dogecoin to pass Bitcoin in market cap, making it that #1 cryptocurrency in the world, only a matter of time before we're seeing this coming true. And this comes as we are seeing right now, the entire market cap of cryptocurrency up approximately 1% in the last 24 hours. Some strange numbers coming in, not a lot of unity in this last 24-hour period, different than what we've been seeing in the past, with Bitcoin going up 1.3%, Ethereum up a solid 2.2%. If these were stock numbers, we'd be saying, wow, that's incredible. With cryptos, it's a little bit less of an incredible thing and a little bit more of just, this is the type of usual gains we would like to see. Our Cardano as well going up 3.95%, one of the biggest gainers in the last 24 hours. And Dogecoin is staying around that same level, around 24 cents. So not too much movement there. The biggest gainers of the last 24 hours are right here. XDC going up a staggering 34.45% in a single 24-hour period. Then Titan going up 22%. Ami 17.83%. We saw GNO going up 15% and GRT, the graph, 16%. Not bad for any of those. And as we see a little bit more time pass before that next big bull run, which is going to cause Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies to see gains the likes of which we have never seen before in the past. But that is not going to happen immediately. It does take some patience. Yes, there are big things that can happen here and there that will cause major spikes and exciting times. But overall, what we're waiting for is that big next bull run that can start at literally any second. All it takes is one big news story to really spur the beginning of it, and then it will take on a life of its own and just go absolutely parabolic. That's the exciting future that we have to look forward to. But there are some cryptos falling as well. Bitcoin Cash ABC down 7.63%. What in the world is that? Well, I don't know. People are just adding more letters on top of letters on top of letters. MLN down 7%. So the biggest losers of the last 24 hours, only approximately 7%. Meanwhile, the biggest gainers up around 20 or more percent. So with that, you start to realize that crypto, even in the form of altcoins, has way more confidence overall than negativity at this current juncture, at this current point in time. Here's a stat, though, that I think is extremely telling of what we could see in the future. Make sure, by the way, that you're pressing like on this video, because unfortunately we had a sound issue on the first live, which means that now we're not going to have a notification, unfortunately. And so the only way people are going to know we're live is if we actually have that notification being sent out in the form of people seeing it in their feed, which means we have to all be pressing like. So let's see if we can do that. If we can get to 100 likes, there's 159 people watching right now because we don't have a notification, and it's 11:22 p.m. on a Friday. I may have to post another video to kind of come back from this, unfortunately, the silly sound issue, but hopefully we can still get a lot of viewers. Anyway, we'll try our best. But I guess it's just going to be for the real fans, the people who know we're live, the people who check, I guess. But Ethereum now has more active addresses than Bitcoin. That's most of us here that we know what's going on. But Bitcoin assigned traders are turning bearish on the world's biggest cryptocurrency, meaning Bitcoin. So people are starting to realize that the opportunity may lie in the altcoins. And you can see that in this chart right here, which just shows the active Bitcoin addresses. Bitcoin has been going down in terms of active addresses approximately 38% from its peak of 1.1 million in April. And here's where it really starts to get fascinating. When you look at Ethereum in terms of active addresses, you can see 757,000 active addresses for Ethereum. And compare that to Bitcoin, which has 708,000 active addresses for the first time ever. Ethereum has actually passed BTC when it comes to the number of active addresses, meaning people are using it more as a currency. People are choosing Ethereum at a much higher rate, which bodes well for altcoins moving forward, Dogecoin included in that. Obviously, we do want to continue to see steady growth from Bitcoin as a store of value, which is where its real value is. But as a currency, it is likely not going to be the one that ends up winning in the end, as bigger updates are starting to happen with the other cryptos, and we're starting to see more incredible things happen with that. But here is where I believe we could be about to see Dogecoin passing Bitcoin. When I say about to, it's going to take some time for this to form, meaning potentially years before we actually see it happening. But that would be Elon Musk and SpaceX putting a Dogecoin on Mars and actually making it the currency. They're proving its use case on an intergalactic scale, or not an intergalactic scale, an interplanetary scale. And you can see right here, Elon Musk made a joke that we could potentially see them putting human beings on Mars as soon as 2 weeks from now. Obviously, that's not going to happen, almost certainly. Technically, it is possible. It's not impossible because we do know humans have the ability, based on the fact that we have multiple satellites on Mars. It could happen in theory if you just want to say YOLO and take an extremely risky mission to try to send humans to Mars. You could do it. Doesn't sound like something Elon would want to do. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because what's the rush, right? We already have satellites there going around Mars. We already have things on the planet from satellites to other stuff. So there's no rush, but if it does happen, that would be fascinating to watch. So come on, Elon, don't mess with us like that. Don't pull our heartstrings. We want to see it happen. It still is going to happen regardless at some point in the future. This may not be the time, but by 2025, I think that is when we could actually see the Mars landing when it comes to humans for the first time. Humans, or when it comes to Earth, it's going to line up pretty dang well with Mars in 2025 for an actual trip there. It lined up pretty well this year, so I was surprised that no one at least tried to send humans there because there are opportunities to do so. But 2025 is, I think, the date that we will likely see that happening. And with so many people watching, billions of people, one of the most historic events to ever be televised is what it's going to be. That could absolutely cause Dogecoin to just go pretty dang crazy. Elon Musk continuing to tweet Dogecoin memes like this one here, showing a dude who has girls all around him, and instead he's focusing on the Dogecoin price. Sounds like a lot of us, doesn't it? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. You can do both at the same time. You don't gotta pick one or the other, but I still think that's a funny meme coming in from Elon. Also posting this, but can I pay in Doge? So he's still very much on the Dogecoin train. He's by no means giving up on that. He's continuing to show support and do some pretty cool things there. But here's another massive update that we have to talk about, which is that Robinhood has now released that they currently hold approximately 11.6 billion in cryptocurrency, and that most of it is in Dogecoin, which basically confirms what we knew all along. The first exposed documentary ever exposing this was here on the channel. That was a few months back, where we exposed Robinhood as the top Dogecoin wallet. They didn't want to come out and admit it, so we went ahead and did the investigative work and figured it out for us so that we can know. But as you see here, the only wallet that currently has enough to be the Robinhood wallet is that top wallet, with over 36 billion Doge, over $8 billion in USD currently in there, and I believe their reports of having around 11 billion was probably outdated a little bit, perhaps, or maybe they did it when Dogecoin was at that lower level, so it's probably gone up some. Perhaps they did it around 15 cents, right? So that's an interesting way to look at it. It's kind of weird to think that they could have that big of a stake in Dogecoin compared to the other cryptos. I had no idea. 6% of their revenue, apparently, has come from Dogecoin alone. 6%! Robinhood is so much more focused on stocks. It's pretty dang weird to think about that, to have that big of a revenue source, specifically from one crypto. It goes to show you how much Robinhood has played a role in Dogecoin continuing to be the currency that it is. But as we see more exchanges coming, I think those exchanges are also going to be able to profit a lot from Dogecoin, as they deserve to, for giving people the opportunity to buy it. They take a percent and we get to have the currency of Earth. It sounds like a deal to me. But 7.4% interest for Doge. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on that soon. We'll talk about that. But check out Gitcoin. I don't know about that. Gitcoin, what is that about? Perhaps it's interesting. You know, when we hear a lot on the channel, people saying, hey, check out this coin or that coin. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. It really just depends on what kind of opportunity you find, because you're going to always see something there. It just depends. I guess it just comes down to whether it has an actual use case, what the community looks like. That's what we have to be worried about there. But we have also seen Richard Branson saying, it doesn't really matter if I beat Jeff Bezos to space, who cares? Which is pretty dang silly. I think he's trolling with this right now. As you know, he's planning to beat Jeff Bezos by 9 days into outer space. And of course he cares. He went all the way out of his way to make this happen. If he didn't care, he wouldn't have done that. So he does care. So for him to say that, I don't know. I just think that's kind of silly. But I'm rooting for him. I definitely want to see him over Jeff Bezos in space first. So go for it. I'm also holding Virgin Galactic stock, which is his company. So I do support that as well. But anyway, because this stream is, I think, I'm probably going to make this stream a little bit different because of the fact that we don't have a notification. So just be prepared for that. But Andy Jassy as well, to get to net 214 million in Amazon stock after taking over from Jeff Bezos. Think about that. He's getting close to $250 million simply for becoming Amazon CEO. Jeff Bezos missing out on that massive amount of money, but who cares for Jeff Bezos, right? Because he already has enough. 214 million, he already had approximately 250 million as his net worth. Now he's becoming one of the richest people in the world, getting close to that billionaires club, which I would not be surprised at all if at some point Andy Jassy does make that happen. You have to wonder, when your net worth starts to get into the billions, where do you find the motivation to keep going at those high levels? Of course, you can find them somewhere, right? Maybe you have a goal of accomplishing this or accomplishing that, but that's part of the reason why even people who can become billionaires often don't, because you reach that level, you have everything you could ever possibly imagine in terms of quality of life. Your happiness is not going to go up from making more money, but maybe a goal you want to accomplish can go up. So I guess I can see it from that perspective. Have you heard of Everrise? Thanks, love your show. Yeah, I have heard of it. Some people talking about it. I don't currently have any, but I'll definitely look at it more, and we'll see if there's an opportunity there to make money. Because if there is, then we're not going to want to pass up on it, right? And there's going to be a lot of opportunities. I mean, you saw the top list there. So many altcoins are continuing to prove that they have the ability to rise really, really fast, even in a short period of time. But has a rally to 90K started for Bitcoin? Some people saying the answer is yes. You can see this chart right here, which seems to suggest that we will see a few climbs coming over the next month. July, a lot of rumors that it could be a big month for crypto. We will see if that actually happens. But this is what their chart looks like. 3, 4, so it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, before eventually we see that skyrocket happening, which once it starts to go, there's going to be a ton of money pouring in, and we could absolutely see some crazy numbers going up to 90K. Is that possible? If it does happen, Dogecoin will likely be at that point above its all-time high. It's inevitable. During the next bull run, that's where I think Dogecoin is really going to shine and stand out from all of the rest. A lot of these other altcoins are not going to do much during the bull run. It's going to be the top ones, Dogecoin very much included in that see the biggest gains, and I think Dogecoin even more so because of its specific catalyst that no other crypto has, which is why it's exciting. It really is. But yeah, that's funny. Some good chats in there, but because we had no notification for this live, I'm gonna go ahead and make it a little bit shorter so more people can watch after. So anyway, I'll make a couple more videos talking about some of the extra stuff, which I think it's not really extra. It should be part of the main stuff, but we don't have that ability for this live. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.